Forget everything you know about unicorns. Forget the white horses, forget the sparkles, and definitely forget the rainbows. Because the real unicorn was a monster. It weighed 5 tons. It was covered in thick, shaggy fur, and on its forehead sat a horn so massive it could impale a woolly mammoth. This wasn't a creature of magic. It was a tank built of flesh and bone. And here's the scariest part. It didn't live in a fantasy world. It lived right here, and our ancestors had to survive it. Welcome to Primeval Life. Today, we're hunting the Siberian Unicorn. To science, it is known as Elasmotherium sibericum, but let's call it what it really was, the Siberian Unicorn. For a long time, paleontologists thought this creature was just an oversized rhino, but when you look at the skeleton, you realize this thing was a nightmare of the Ice Age. Imagine a modern rhinoceros, now double its size. The Siberian unicorn stood over 6.5 feet tall at the shoulder and was 15 feet long. That is roughly the size of a mammoth. But unlike a mammoth, which was generally peaceful and less provoked, this creature was built for violence. Its legs were longer than a modern rhino's, meaning it could gallop at high speeds. Imagine a school bus running at you at 30 miles per hour. That is what early humans saw charging across the steppes of Russia and Kazakhstan. But the defining feature, the thing that gives it the name unicorn, is the horn. Here is the twist. We've never actually found a fossil of the horn itself. Why? Because rhino horns are made of keratin, the same stuff as your fingernails and hair. Keratin rots away. It doesn't turn into stone like bone does. So how do we know it was there? We look at the skull. The skull of Elasmotherium has a massive circular dome on its forehead, a bone base that is over 3 feet wide. The only biological reason for a base that strong is to support something truly colossal. Scientists estimate the horn was nearly 2 meters long. That's 6 feet. A single black spear of keratin, sharper than stone, heavier than a human. Some theories suggest they used it to sweep away deep snow to find grass. Others say it was for mating rights. But when you're a 5-ton tank living in a world full of cave lions and wolves, that horn is a weapon. For decades, scientists believed the Siberian unicorn went extinct a long time ago. They thought it vanished around 200,000 years ago, well before modern humans settled in its territory. They were wrong. In 2016, a study shocked the scientific world. Carbon dating on a skull found in Kazakhstan proved that these monsters were still walking the earth as recently as 39,000 years ago. Do you realize what that means? 39,000 years ago isn't ancient history. That's the late Stone Age. Modern humans, Homo sapiens, were there. Neanderthals were there. This means the legend of the unicorn isn't just a fairy tale. It might be a memory. Close your eyes and picture the scene. It's the depths of the Ice Age. You're a hunter, huddled around a fire in a cave in Siberia. The wind is howling outside. You step out to track a herd of bison, but the ground starts to shake, a rhythmic thumping that you feel in your chest. Out of the mist, it appears, a mountain of dark fur. It lowers its head, and that 6-foot horn gleams in the pale sunlight. If you're lucky, it ignores you. If you're unlucky, there's no escape. You cannot outrun it. You cannot fight it with a wooden spear. This interaction is likely where the myths began. In fact, ancient legends from the Tatars in Siberia speak of a huge black bull with a single horn on its forehead that was so large a rider could sit on the tip. Even the famous Chinese legend of the Qilin, a mythical unicorn-like beast, might have been inspired by travelers seeing fossils or even the last survivors of this species. We took a real monster, and over thousands of years, we softened it into a magical horse. But the reality was far more terrifying. So, what killed the ultimate tank? Was it us? While humans certainly hunted them and likely avoided being hunted by them, we probably didn't wipe them out alone. The Siberian unicorn was a specialist. It ate tough, dry grass in the frozen steppes. As the earth began to warm, the permafrost melted. The dry grasslands turned to wet, boggy tundra. The Elasmotherium couldn't adapt. Its heavy body got stuck in the mud. Its food source disappeared. It was a creature built perfectly for a frozen world, a world that was melting away. The Siberian unicorn serves as a reminder. The monsters in our stories, dragons, giants, unicorns, they usually start with a grain of truth. The world used to be a much scarier place, and sometimes the scariest things were the ones that were real. If you want to see more creatures that make the T-Rex look like a pet, hit that subscribe button. Next time, we're diving into the deep ocean to find the creature that terrified even the Megalodon. You don't want to miss that. This is Primeval Life. Stay wild.